back to Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso here on S3. I thought I'd give you a wave because that's exactly what Zoe's going to be riding soon with a bit of a surfing lesson from Muizenberg Beach as we cross over there. So stand by for Tarryn King giving Zoe the paces in surfing. Do enjoy. Dude.
Oh, thank you, Wasty. Well, you know what? I'm still on Muizenberg Beach, and of course, it is a gorgeous morning. I'm taking full advantage of it. So from going to yoga to now bracing perhaps to go into the water. I'm not there yet, but I have Tarryn King, who is here to give us not only a surf report, but to also give me a surf lesson that requires me not to go into the water. I'm very excited for that. Now, Tarryn, I know you are wearing your wetsuit. You are ready for this cold, wet water. But there are a lot of people that love surfing. We are at Muizenberg Beach. I'm looking at these waves. To me, they are beautiful, but you are the expert. What can we expect in terms of surfing conditions for Muizenberg and our beaches that's surrounding Cape Town?
So today it's actually really beautiful out here. It will only last for another hour or two before the southeaster comes up. But today is 2 to 3 foot, pretty pleasant, nice swell going. We've got high tide at 9:45 this morning with low tide at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay, so if I had to do the beach report, I would be like, oh, such cute little foamies, that's all I see. So for someone that is new to surfing, like myself, I know that wind plays a big part in it. You obviously want no wind, and you mentioned the southeaster is on its way. What is the wind looking like for the weekend for surfing?
This weekend's going to be really good. We've got very light winds in a northwesterly direction with a 2 to 3 foot swell on Saturday and maybe slightly bigger on Sunday with the southerly swell. So the wind for the weekend's looking great.
Okay, and you mentioned the high tide and low tide earlier, the time, but how important is that for you as a surfer? Do you prefer high tide? Do you prefer low tide? Is there a preference?
It definitely depends on the place that you surf. There are a couple of surrounding reef breaks, like Cork Bay Reef. There, depending on how hardcore you want to be, you want a mid to high tide, sometimes low tide, but it just depends. At Muizenberg, it doesn't really matter too much.
Okay, Muizenberg's the place to come for surf lessons. So Tarryn, you're about to show me a little bit of the basics for surfing. So come along, come join us, because it feels like we've got this whole beach to ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, so usually we would do a couple of warm-ups before, but you've done your yoga.
Yes, I did.
So we're going to skip all of that and we're going to lie down on the board. You can lie down facing me.
Okay.
Okay. This is the nose of your board. Where your feet are, that is the tail of your board, okay? When you're paddling into a wave, you want to have nice cupped hands, okay? And nice, long, deep strokes. You can move your upper body from side to side, okay? Usually when you're learning, you have an instructor pushing you from behind, so they help you out a little bit, but until you get those muscles nice and strong in your arms.
Okay.
But paddling in, you put your hands just next to you, you push up into a plank position, and you bring a foot forward. Once your feet are planted on the board, that's when you let go of the board. And you're keeping a squat position. Rotate your feet slightly. Like there we go.
There we go.
Bend your knees. And you're surfing. So we're going to practice that one more time.
Okay.
You're going to lie down.
Here we go.
Okay, remember, you're going to have someone helping you initially, but when you feel the momentum of the wave taking you onto the wave, paddle, paddle, paddle. You feel that wave pushing you. You push up. You bring your feet up. And you're in your surfing stance.
Okay.
So initially, that will be a little bit slower, but the idea is to get it faster.
Yeah. And obviously, must my legs be this wide?
Yes. So you want your back foot to kind of be over the fins.
Okay.
So it can be technically a little bit further back, and then you can just play with the weight distribution. So a little bit of pressure on the front foot, a little bit of pressure on the back foot.
Now, as a surfer, I wanted to know from you, when you do your own fitness,
yes,
you obviously want to focus on core strength, you want to focus on arms.
Correct.
What is it? Do you ever end up going to the gym?
Yes, definitely. I mean, cross training is great. A lot of squats for leg work, a lot of stand-up paddleboarding to get a little bit of fitness in the arms and the core. It all plays a huge part.
Okay. Well, you know what? On Fridays on the show, we love to do a thing called Friday Dance. Now, we're going to do a Friday Surf where I think we need to go through that entire sequence and see if we can be synchronized.
Definitely. I'll be on this board. There we go. Okay,
I just feel like we need music for this.
we're going to paddle.
Shark
Put your arms up next to you. Push up and bring the foot forward. And
There we go. There we
Perfect.
go. Tarryn King, thank you so much for showing me this surf lesson. I know you are a champ in your own right. I mean, ISA 2018 surfing champ. In terms of surfing competitions, how has that been for you now, especially with lockdown restrictions lifting, us potentially being in the third wave right now? Can you still go out onto the water?
Yeah, so we had, obviously, during the pandemic, it's been really tough, but we slowly started getting back into events and got a couple of events coming up in the near future, but nothing international yet.
Okay.
But local events, which is a good sign.
That is a good sign indeed. Well, we want to obviously wish you all the best of luck. How can people stay up to date and in touch with you on social media?
They can follow me at _Tarryn King_. We have a website called Expresso on the beach, and yeah, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Tarryn King, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Muizenberg Beach. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be hanging out here, at least I will. I'm going to be joined by the Carters for a Friday dance. And of course, we do promise you the best on a Friday. And look at Muizenberg, you cannot complain.